You know when you think of a plan or a strategy or a goal, be it personally or professionally, and you think it's so amazing, it's going to be so profound that you get really, really excited about it. And then when that initial elation sort of fades, you look at the thing that you've created and you've thought about, and it's just so big. You get overwhelmed, you don't know where to start, you don't know what to do. So you kind of stop, and then nothing ever really happens. Well, I'm going to give you a tool to solve that problem that you can implement right now, and I'm going to give you a couple of examples so you can see exactly how it works. It's called the inversion principle, and I could say lots of things about it, but in its very, very basis, what it is that you take the question that you have asked, or the statement that you have posed, or the thing that you want to do, and instead of focusing on that, what you do is you invert it and you ask the exact opposite. Let me explain. So what does it look like in practice? Let me give you two examples, one professionally and one personally, just so you can understand exactly what it is that the inversion principle does and how you can apply it to anything that you want in your life. Number one, the personal example. Have you ever asked yourself, or have you ever maybe given yourself a goal, New Year's resolution, and you say to yourself, this year I want to be happier. I want to be the happiest that I've ever been. Rather than ask yourself, how can I be happy? Invert the question and say to yourself, what would make me the most depressed possible? And the brain is really, really good at thinking of problems rather than anything else. So your mind can immediately think of 3 or 4 things that would make somebody as depressed as possible. If we think about it, let's say, I would make sure that I have a bad diet. I'd make sure that I eat lots of junk food. I'd make sure that I didn't get enough sleep. I would make sure that I was unhealthy and unfit. Probably the most important one, I would make sure that I had no connections with friends or family or any authentic relationships at all. So now you've actually got 3 or 4 things that you can concentrate on that will make a difference immediately, rather than everybody that asks themselves, oh, I want to be happy. Now you've got 4 things. Concentrate on making more time for your friends and your family, making sure that you get more sleep, get into a better pattern, exercise, eat decent food. Okay, so let's take the professional example. Now, when I first heard of the inversion principle, this was the first thing that came into my mind, because it's what I do for work and it's what I help others to do. And it was, how do I create a positive culture in the workplace? And if you think about it, that sounds amazing. You want to create a positive culture. Everybody does. But if you take a step back and you look at it, you have no idea where to start. Do I start with the bosses, team members? Oh, there's so much things to think about. So what you do is you invert the question. Okay, how do I create the most toxic workplace possible? And we can all think of things. I'm sure you might even be in a situation in your workplace right now where you have these things. What I would do is I would make sure that people take credit for other people's work. I would make sure that when mistakes are made, people throw other people under the bus and blame other people. I'd make sure that everybody gossiped and talked behind everybody's backs. I'd make sure that the leaders in the business are micromanagers, are stress heads, and they don't trust anybody, and they make sure that nobody trusts them either. So that's the inversion principle, and I've given you a couple of examples there. Hopefully it's helped. I would love to hear from you. If you use this for any of your goals or strategies or plans, please comment below, and we can share a few of them in future.